New York City is celebrating a massive milestone in urban safety today. 50 years after the landmark window guard law first took effect, the city is officially commemorating half a century of protecting children from dangerous falls in residential buildings. Agencies like the NYC Health Department and Mayor Zoran Mamdani are marking this anniversary by highlighting how simple, effective policy has saved countless lives since 1976. This is a story about how consistent enforcement and public awareness have turned the tide on a major safety crisis.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Next up, we are diving into the world of PC gaming on a completely new architecture. We are testing the limits of the Qualcomm Snapdragon X2 Elite Extreme chip, found inside the latest Asus ZenBook A16 to see if Windows on ARM is finally ready for high-end gaming. We put the system through its paces with everything from World of Warcraft and Minecraft to the demanding landscapes of Cyberpunk 2077 and Counter-Strike 2. Find out which games run flawlessly and which ones struggle to keep up in this performance deep dive. Big questions about your digital privacy are surfacing again thanks to the Windows recall feature on Windows 11. Despite Microsoft overhauling its security measures after significant backlash, new findings from the Total Recall Reloaded proof of concept suggest that a side door into your PC activity might still be wide open. We are breaking down how code injection into the AIX host process could potentially expose your private history and messages. This is a critical update for anyone concerned about how their device preserves its visual record of your daily work. Finally, we are heading back in time to the historic Siege of Vicksburg to uncover a miracle of preservation. The Christ Episcopal Church, Vicksburg's oldest public building, managed to withstand relentless cannon fire in 1863, and remarkably, some of its original stained glass windows survived the destruction of the surrounding rectory. We are looking at the story of the resurrection window and the fleur-de-lis glass that still stand as symbols of resilience today. If you enjoyed these stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Imagine this. 50 years ago, living in a New York City apartment came with a terrifying, hidden danger: your own windows. Today, we're looking at a quiet revolution in urban safety that has literally saved hundreds of lives. In 1976, the city faced a tragic reality. Dozens of children were dying every year from falls. It was a crisis that demanded action, and New York responded by becoming the first city in the nation to mandate window guards. It sounds simple, right? A metal bar, a few screws, and a rule that windows shouldn't open more than 4.5 inches. But the results? Absolutely staggering. Within just 3 years, falls dropped by 50%. And by 2025, we reached a point where, out of just 4 reported falls, not a single one was fatal. This isn't just bureaucracy. It's a masterclass in how small, sensible policies can fundamentally shift the safety of a city. Mayor Zoran Mamdani and city officials like Dr. Helen Ardiga are celebrating this milestone, reminding us that large-scale change starts by believing no task is too small. But here is the catch. This progress isn't automatic. Out of the few falls we still see today, they almost always boil down to one of two things: improper installation or the complete absence of guards. It's a sobering reminder that safety requires vigilance. If you live in an apartment building with 3 or more units, and there's a child 10 or younger in your home, your landlord is legally required to install these guards. Even if you don't have kids, you can request them. Don't wait for an accident to happen. If you feel unsafe, reach out to your landlord or call 311. This is a team effort between the city, building owners, and you, the tenant. If you found this story of urban progress inspiring, hit that like button and share this video with your neighbors. It might just be the reminder someone needs to secure their own home. After all, 50 years of success proves that the most powerful safety tool we have is staying informed. Let me know in the comments. Do you think other cities should adopt even stricter safety mandates? Keep an eye out for each other and stay safe. Ever wondered if you could ditch your bulky gaming rig and just game on a productivity laptop? Specifically, the new Asus ZenBook A16 powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon X2 Elite Extreme. Well, I put it to the test, and the results were, let's say, a mixed bag of brilliance and frustration. First off, we need to address the elephant in the room. This isn't your traditional Intel or AMD chip. It's an ARM-based SoC. It's built for efficiency, battery life, and AI tasks, not necessarily for fragging noobs. But just because it isn't a dedicated gaming monster doesn't mean it can't handle a few titles. The catch: it all comes down to whether the game is native to ARM or if it's relying on Microsoft's Prism translation layer to run that x86-64 code. Let's start with the good news. World of Warcraft. This game has had native ARM64 support since 2021, and it shows. I was getting a solid 60 FPS in busy cities while running on battery power. It's incredibly impressive, so much so that my wife is already eyeing my review unit. If you're a WoW player, this laptop actually delivers. Then, there's Minecraft. It's a staple for a reason, and while you won't be doing any ray tracing, the option is straight up grayed out. It runs at a smooth, consistent 55 to 60 FPS at default settings. It's exactly what you'd want for a casual, relaxing session on the go. But here is where the reality check hits. If you try to fire up something like Cyberpunk 2077, you're in for a rough time. Even on low settings, it's a stuttery mess that barely hits 30 to 40 FPS. It's technically playable, but why would you want to? Then there is CS2, which is frankly a disaster. The frame rate hitches constantly, making it completely uncompetitive. It's a tsunami of disappointment for any shooter fan. Lastly, there's Kingdom Come, Deliverance Roman 2. I couldn't even properly test this because the Xbox PC app doesn't have the native ARM build that Steam offers. It's a perfect example of the current fragmentation in the Windows on ARM ecosystem. So, what's the verdict? The Snapdragon X2 Elite Extreme is a productivity beast, but for gaming, it's still finding its feet. We need more developers to embrace native ARM64 builds, or Microsoft's Prism needs to get a whole lot better. For now, if you're buying this laptop, buy it for the battery life and the sleek form factor, not for your next marathon gaming session. If you want to dive deeper into this or share your own experiences, head over to r/Windows Central and join the conversation. Are we really ready for an ARM-powered gaming future, or is the software gap still too wide to cross? Let me know your thoughts. Ever feel like your computer is watching you? Well, with Microsoft's Windows Recall, it literally is. What was pitched as a revolutionary way to search your PC history has turned into a privacy nightmare that just won't go away. Even after the massive backlash and Microsoft's attempt to patch things up, a new proof of concept called Total Recall Reloaded is proving that the digital paper trail you leave behind is still surprisingly vulnerable. Here is the reality. Recall doesn't just grab a snapshot here and there. It keeps a relentless, broad visual record of your life, every app you use, every website you visit, and every private message you send. Microsoft tried to play it safe by making it an opt-in feature and adding encryption, but here is the catch. The vulnerability isn't in the locked vault, it's in how the data travels. Once you sign in with Windows Hello, that sensitive info gets passed to a process called AIX host, EXE, and according to researchers, that is where things get ugly. Total Recall Reloaded can inject code into that process without needing admin privileges, essentially intercepting your data while the system is live. The most unsettling part: some actions, like grabbing your latest screenshot or wiping your entire history, might not even require a password. Microsoft's stance: they claim this is working exactly as intended and isn't a security breach. But let's be real. If a feature that tracks your every click can be manipulated by someone who knows your fallback PIN, is it really secure? The industry is clearly spooked. Major players like Signal and Brave are already blocking Recall by default, which tells you everything you need to know. If you are a Windows 11 user, my advice is simple. If you don't absolutely need this, keep it turned off. Convenience is great, but is it worth handing over a map of your digital life to a background process? Hit that subscribe button for more tech deep dives, and tell me in the comments. Do you trust Microsoft enough to let them remember everything you do? Imagine a city under constant bombardment, where the sky is filled with the roar of cannon fire, and the only escape is into damp caves carved into the hillside. This was the terrifying reality of Vicksburg in 1863. Yet, amidst 47 days of starvation and artillery hell, there was one place that refused to shut its doors: Christ Episcopal Church. It is a miracle that this building, the oldest in Vicksburg, is still standing today, bearing silent witness to a history that nearly erased it. While the nearby rectory was reduced to rubble, described by the rector's wife as a scene of complete desolation with craters in the floor and glass shattered to dust, the church remained a defiant sanctuary. But the true legends of this place are hidden in the light. Take the resurrection window, imported all the way from Germany in 1855. Imagine the sheer logistics of moving such delicate art by ship and wagon just to have it survive the fires of the Civil War. It depicts a triumphant Christ, a poignant choice of imagery for a congregation clinging to hope while their world collapsed around them. Then there is the humble front window, featuring a winged ox holding a golden book, a symbol of St. Luke representing sacrifice, service, and above all, the strength to endure. Today, when the morning sun hits these panes, the church is flooded with colors that remind us of a time when prayer was the only shelter. Reverend Sam Godfrey often live streams these morning light shows, and it is easy to see why. These windows are more than just glass and lead. They are a bridge to the past, reminding us that even in our darkest moments, there is something human and divine worth holding on to. If you found this story of resilience as inspiring as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden history. After all, when the world seems to be falling apart, what is the one thing you hold on to?